is going to eventually find out that this is not a game, y'all. Oh my gosh. I am literally pulling out of one of the major conglomerates that is taking over our food supply. And I have a little way to drive, so I thought I'd do a drive and discuss instead of a walk and talk today. It is absolutely scary in a lot of ways what is happening. And I wanted to come in and just, when I see something, I'm going to say something because that's what we do here as part of the Gym Nation family. Let me quickly introduce myself. I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems, and on this channel, we talk all things wellness, travel, and money, honey, in an effort for us to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And so I was listening to some music. I like my little old school R&B, had my little Shalimar going. But I was like, nah, I got to come talk to my people because I have realized that some of us are going to be doomed as it relates to the number of places where we are going to be able to source our food from. And I am in a place where that is actually true. So what I wanted to quickly say, hey, out of the shell, hey, sister girl, so glad to see you. I've been doing impromptu because I have to, my days aren't really my days. My hours aren't really my hours right now. But when I get back to New York next week, I'll be able to schedule, I think, for the most part. For the couple weeks that I'm there, I'll be able to schedule my lives. But as I see things, I have to say things. And one of the things that I see is that the only supermarkets that will be available shortly in a lot of towns, and especially, oh, thank you, sis, especially in towns where we are, will be the Walmarts, will be the Food Lions, will be the Targets. Since I've been here, two supermarkets that used to source locally, so meaning getting their fruits and vegetables from the farmers in the area, even seafood, have announced that they are closing. But the crazy thing is, while they are closing, guess the supermarkets that are opening. Not only is there already a Walmart in close proximity, they are now opening more of the supermarket version. The neighborhood Walmarts is what they're called, and closing the supermarkets that locally source farm to table foods, right? And guess what that means? We will have less options. If you're not able to drive for, a distance to source yourself, you will have tons of less options. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, the phone pulled down my rear view. Less options to source your food. And that is no bueno. When I tell you I am absolutely disgusted. So let me just back up a little because I'm doing this impromptu, but I want to level set what I have seen that made me come in and talk about this today. So I started off telling you like I'm in South Carolina, and where a good portion of my family is, like I have family all over because both of my parents are from this particular county. But what I have noticed, when I used to come here as a child, I could walk to maybe 7 grocery stores. And I mean at minimum 7. And I could probably name them: Piggly Wiggly, Woods, Bilo, The list goes on. Of course, Food Lion. Of course, Walmart. Well, Walmart wasn't really that popular when I was a kid, but for the last few decades, it has been a thing. What else? There has been at least seven. Oh, IGA. Then there's a whole meat market. Then there's fish markets. There's at least seven grocery stores where we would get our food from. And that doesn't include the trucks on the side of the road with the fresh collard greens or the fresh vegetables. But I'm talking brick and mortar stores where we would go to get food that was freshly picked. The farmers would come to the stores, drop off their, produce, their even meat. Some groceries would sell the farmers or the cattle that was raised by the farmers, chickens as well. As of today, there will be two supermarkets, none of them within walking distance. But guess what those two supermarkets are? Walmart, Food Lion. IGA was the third. IGA was known, a lot of farmers used to rely on business from IGA. They would, it wasn't a whole big, you had to go through corporate to get, it was a community-based agreement that they would buy, as long as you met certain standards, of course. You couldn't just go in your backyard and grow some vegetables and take it to IGA. But as long as you had the licensing and you met certain standards, you were able to do business with IGA. Well, as of September of this year, IGA will be gone. The weird thing is that IGA stayed packed. Oh my gosh, stayed packed. But they're saying due to, what's happening with the recession, all that other stuff. But guess what? What's coming to town? And I already told you there's two supermarkets within a radius. If I was to drive there, 5-minute radius, right? 5-minute drive. They are adding another Walmart, a neighborhood Walmart store. So there's the super Walmart. Then they're adding a neighborhood Walmart supermarket, which is 2 minutes away from the other Walmart that already sells groceries, that already sells, everything you need. Oh my gosh, there is a person in the middle of the road riding their bicycle. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so how are you going to say, like, one supermarket that when I tell you stays packed? Because the food was fresh. The people from the South can tell fresh food versus non-fresh food. It was also a great way to support local farmers. But you're going to tell me that one supermarket has to shutter because business isn't what it used to be. But within the same town, literally, that's probably 60 seconds away. IGA is 60 seconds away from where they are putting a new Walmart, neighborhood Walmart, which is supposed to only carry groceries. The math ain't mathing. There is no way you're going to convince me that IGA, which is 60 seconds away from this new Walmart supermarket, neighborhood Walmart store, which is 2 minutes away from Super Walmart, which they just redesigned and put a whole bunch of money into. There's no way you're going to tell me that Walmart didn't, some way, somehow, have something to do with the forced closure of IGA. I started off by saying there used to be 7 grocery stores within, a walking. I could walk there if I wanted to. Now, some were probably a 10-minute walk versus a 1-minute walk. But if I needed to walk to the store, I could walk to up to 7 grocery stores, brick and mortar. And that did not include the trucks on the side of the road or the farmers markets, because those I could walk to as well. Now I can't walk to any. I have to get in my car, and it's a 4-minute drive to Food Line and maybe like a 6-minute drive to Walmart. IGA was probably a 5-minute drive, depending on traffic. It is absolutely, hey Janet, welcome, welcome. I'm just venting, y'all, because I see, we've been talking about this to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And in a video that I just did a couple of days ago, I talked about homesteading. And I believe in that. If you're able to do that, grow your own fruits and vegetables. Now, I will say, for people who don't mind driving, so I'm about to pass a Publix, but again, Publix ain't what it used to be. I'm going to pass a Kroger, but these are probably 10, 15 minutes from my family, maybe longer, depending on, beach traffic, holiday traffic, summer traffic. It could take up to like 20, 25 minutes to get to Publix or Kroger, which are pretty close in proximity. But the area where my family is, it's literally only going to be Food Lion and 2 Walmarts. This is not, this is, I don't like to say scary, but we need to really pay attention. And we also need to figure out, if you have family members that are reliant on these forced corporate supermarkets, what is the plan, the community organization, to not have them as reliant? Because what I do know for sure is there are certain areas that do have more options. The Trader Joe's, which I, have my issues about. There's a supermarket called Lowe's, which I love because they still do local sourcing from South Carolina farmers. But it's about 22 minutes away from where my family is. So my question is, have you checked on your family members lately? And I mean the ones that you may not live next to, you may not see often, because this is a conversation that I am having. So what I am telling, like, some of my family members, like, yo, check this out. Let me Instacart for you. You don't know how to Instacart. You don't do the smartphone stuff. Let me find a delivery method, or find someone who can take you personally, because, some of my older family members, they're not going to drive 25 minutes to go to Lowe's food or to Trader Joe's, or they're not going to do that. And especially during the summertime, where the traffic is like New York traffic. It's like Manhattan FDR traffic. So they're not going to do that. But I do want to find a way, and they're doing so much construction on these roads because the population has increased substantially. So what is the community effort that we are going to do to make sure our family's not eating all of this chemicals? I'll call them the Gates chemicals, right? Y'all know who I'm talking about. And that we're taking care of each other. What's this? Yeah, that is bad, especially for people who don't drive. Exactly. And I have family members that drive, but they're not driving during summertime, because this traffic is crazy. They're older. So they'll go to 3 minutes, they'll go to 4-minute drive, but that stuff, I don't know if, I wish I could show you, but there's a video someone did, and I don't know if it was Walmart. I don't know if it was Walmart or it was a big box store. There's a EMS truck trying to get by, y'all. Sorry. Okay. They went to buy a watermelon. The watermelon said seeded, but they were able to push their finger through the watermelons. And I mean, each and every watermelon that was in the box that said seeded. So you think you buying seeded watermelon, which is supposed to be the best watermelon. Never should you ever be able to push your finger through a watermelon. It is disgusting. Um, yeah, so for people who don't drive, or people that don't drive far distances, or people that just simply don't even know what's going on, we have to sound the alarm. So my part in sounding the alarm is this impromptu video. um, and having conversations with my family. Now I'm getting pushback. I ain't gonna lie. I have family members that's like, oh, they're, God's gonna take care of everything. Absolutely. That's, it's, and for people who are towards the latter years in their life, I get it. It's like, I done made it this far. I'm not gonna let nothing shake me. But what about when your grandkids come to visit, and what are you feeding them? What about when, you see, even if you're not here to see it, but what about the news that's popping up about all of these lettuce recalls and stuff like that? Like, what is your plan? And this is what I'm saying to my family. And some of my family just don't give a damn. I ain't gonna lie. Some of my family just don't give a damn. And I have one of my cousins here from Wilmington. I'm not home yet, so she's gonna have to wait. But yeah, what is the plan? Because we need one, or else we're gonna be a sick, not just nation, but our community is going to get it the worst. The food deserts are going to increase. And while we think we're eating healthy food, i.e. that seeded watermelon that I just talked about, it is, what is that? How can you push your finger through the skin of a watermelon? And it was one of the big box retailers. I can't remember which one it was. Some of your family members live in Florida. They do have vehicles, and the younger members do go to the stores for them. That's what we need. But make sure that the younger members know what they buying, right? That make sure that they know that there's some fugazi, some crazy stuff going on with our food supply. Who is that? Hey, Dante. Oh, twice in 2 days. I love it. Somebody asked what's the scoop on Trader Joe's. Just Google Trader Joe's recalls, and you will see over the past 6 months, let's bring it back to a year, the obscene number of recalls that Trader Joe has been having on everything from prepared foods to canned foods to fruits and vegetables to potato chips. Like the list goes on. Popcorn, I think, was even in there. So we don't know what role Trader Joe's is playing in this whole ugly situation. But I believe they're playing a role, because Trader Joe's was the one place where you could literally count on their food being some of the healthiest, less processing, less additives and preservatives. Now everything. I used to, my favorite thing from Trader Joe's used to be their old-fashioned potato chips. I forgot. It's something old-fashioned potato chips. That might have been the name. Potatoes, salt, and vegetable oil, I want to say. Now, it's one of the 3 seed oils. The number of ingredients has increased. The taste has changed. And there are people on social media that are talking about just if they're pointing out the amount of seed oils that they're now including into things like broth, like what's supposed to be organic broth. They're putting seed oils. They're putting carcinogens in. And so we absolutely are in a place now where if we're not having the conversations, we're culpable. We're culpable. And you know, it hurts me when, I have some of my older family members looking at me like I have 8 heads, right? Like, oh, girl, you just pray. I do believe you pray over your food. Like, I do believe that. But I also know that the demons are out here, child. How do we go from 7 stores that I could walk to as a child growing up, and then maybe 10 years ago that number went down to maybe 5, 4 or 5, to 2 that I can't walk to, and all of the supermarkets that sourced locally are no longer available in that same radius. It it's painful to see happening. I'm the type, I will drive an hour for some fresh seafood. Oh, and then they shut down all the fish markets. The fresh fish markets, there used to be 2 main fish markets. Those are both gone. One became a fried chicken place. We in trouble, y'all. We in trouble. Yes, the younger members don't know how to touch. Exactly, Janet. And it ain't just the younger members. There's a reason why I was the only child that could do grocery shopping, because my brothers were not checking to see what was ripe. My mother sent them to the store for some apples. You knew you were getting what you got. Like, they were not going. So yeah, it's a skill, it's a talent that unfortunately was not passed down as much as it should have been. Yeah, biodegradable foods. It takes time to shut. Yeah, we used to go to the farmers market for our vegetables. Yeah, and that's what I still encourage people to do, and have conversations with the farmers. Please have conversations with the farmers at those farmers markets, because they will tell you the struggles that they are having to maintain quality fruits and vegetables. A lot of them rely on funding, government funding. And that's a whole conversation for another day, but there are demands being placed on, there are demands that are being placed on them that, yeah, it's scary. It's absolutely scary. So I just wanted to really come in and just as a warning, like, to let everybody know that we have to sound the alarm, not only just for ourselves, but make sure as many people are aware of what's going on with the food supply. We see that the FDA has been decimated, and that's if you believe the FDA up until this point, right? But there were some checks and balances. But now with the threats of funding and people, some of the larger scientists, or not larger, the more reputable scientists quitting, it is absolutely, again, I don't like to use the word scary, but it's concerning. It's concerning. And what Janet says, I know one thing: if animals do not eat the food, then you best not eat it. Thank you for saying that, Janet. Because what I also challenge you to do, go to these supermarkets, right? If you are in a food desert, go to the supermarket. Don't spend a whole lot of money. Buy 1 apple, buy whatever your favorite fruit is, whatever your favorite vegetable is, leave it outside. If you don't see flies, if you don't see ants, if you don't see birds, if you do not see that fruit and or vegetable being touched, don't eat it. And I've seen that with bananas. My uncle here used to love bananas. Now, my uncle's a country guy. He's born and raised in the South. Ate fresh food. Like literally from peaches to green beans to collard greens. Like, he knows fresh foods. He cannot stomach even organic bananas. There are and I don't want to, equate my uncle to this animal, but there are videos on Instagram and TikTok where pets that used to love bananas, the pet mamas and papas will put bananas in front of them from the same store, um, same store, then, and the pets won't eat the bananas. I'm sorry, I keep getting this text message from my cousin. I'm gonna get back to you, I promise. um, yeah, the animals will not eat the bananas that they used to buy from the same store, and these are big box stores. The one video I saw, the owner mixed up the banana trying to camouflage it to see if her pet would eat it, smelled it, ran away. So you have to test this food. You can't assume. Now I want to start raining. You can't assume that what you're buying is healthy just because it used to be. These pesticides that are now we now live in a world where farmers can add pesticides and still label the food organic. They no longer have to worry about consequences and repercussions. Well, during this administration, I should say. And so that's why I encourage you to not only test your food, but talk to the farmers. And some people, I will tell you, some people may be hesitant because they know certain things they say, their money's tied into it. But I say it is one thing for certain, two things for sure. The more people you ask, the higher the probability is that you're going to get real answers. And that's what you want to increase your odds. That's the whole thing. If somebody was like, oh, I don't know what's going on, then you go to the next person at that farmer's market. And I promise you, somebody, as long as you are cordial, as long as you come to them the right way and it's not accusatory. And it's like, I've been reading a lot about what's going on, with the I don't want to say the man's name or the pesticides and the FDA. And, I have families that have ailments, and I'm just concerned. If you come to them honest, you'll be surprised the amount of people that's willing to answer you. Somebody says the problem is, I'm trying to read and drive, y'all. So the problem is they are supposed to disclose whether a food is genetically modified. I don't think that's happening. Yeah, it's no longer, because genetically modified is what this administration wants. It's all about money, honey. It's all about money. And I literally, the farmers will tell you, not, like I said, not all of them. I ran into resistance with maybe 2 out of 8 to 10 people that I spoke with at farmers markets. And that could have been anything. It could have been a racial thing. It could have been I don't know who you are type of thing. And this girl has a northern accent, and she could be testing me. Like, who knows what, who knows what the reason was for them trying, being a little secretive. But yeah, ask and test your food. If your food tastes different, it's different. So one of my favorite snack foods, and I'm listen, I shouldn't even be, telling on myself, because ain't nothing healthy about this snack food. Cheez-Its, one of my favorite snack foods. Love me some Cheez-Its to snack on. White cheddar Cheez-Its tend to be, oh, thank you, Christine. And I'll get to the other comments in a second. I'm going to hit another red light in a minute. But so I called myself, they had a sale on Cheez-Its while I was down here. And this was when I was catching up on Homeland. If you have not watched the series Homeland, do yourself a favor. Everything that's going on. Oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch of red lights. Was there an accident? Yeah, it looks like. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is my brother's block. What happened? You know, I talk to people, child. They probably ain't even gonna let me pass. This looks like some type of. Oh my gosh. I'm passing by my cousin's funeral home too. My cousin owns a funeral home. Nobody's there though, but yeah, I don't know. I don't. Oh, you can't really see, but when I turn, you'll probably see some lights. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was a bad accident. That was a bad accident. You may see some flashing lights behind me, so I had to turn. But anyway, oh, so back to my Cheez-It story. I love me some Cheez-Its. And I was trying not to do potato chips because all of the potato chips have seed oils now. So I said, you know what? Cheez-Its ain't healthy, but I'm going to eat me some Cheez-Its. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Um, do you know they done changed? So I opened the Cheez-Its, had my little, I think I like Arnold Palmer's when I'm down here. So half lemonade, half iced tea. I like the fresh brewed iced tea, and I like fresh squeezed lemonade. So I mix half and half with that. Had my little package together. You know what? I may just come back out later after they clean this up because this is going to throw me completely off. Yeah, this traffic. So this is crazy. By the time I'm gonna first go to my aunt's house, drop something off. So anyway, back to the Cheez-Its. They changed the recipe for the Cheez-Its. Disgusting, nasty, horrible. You taste the chemicals. Now, I know, like I said, it is not the most healthy thing anyway, but it's disgusting. I took them Cheez-Its right back to Food Lion. I was like, no wonder this sale was too good to be true. So when I turn, y'all will probably see some of the flashing lights. Oh my gosh. I pray and hope nobody got seriously hurt. And then I looked it up. So of course, if you go to like sites like Reddit and see what the people are saying, you'll know that you're not crazy. You know that it wasn't your taste buds were off that day. They are changing the recipes for everything. If something tastes different, it's probably because it's different. So go ahead and make sure that you are reading labels. Make sure that you are going. I always say, if you got to find where them rich, wealthy people reside and go to their supermarkets, not saying that they're not being tainted as well, but they will have more food options. They will have more supermarkets that still. They will have more supermarkets that still cater to fresher foods. So yeah, do yourself a favor. Well, not do yourself a favor. Do your family members a favor and be the research for them. And I appreciate the people. What stream? Oh, Netflix. I watched 8 seasons in 2 weeks. And I mean, each season had 12 episodes, I want to say. Oh my gosh, Janet, yes, Christine. Janet, once you finish watching it, or at least season 1, we gonna have a Gym Nation meetup. Because where have I been? Like, and I was telling other people, oh my gosh, I'm so addicted to Homeland, I can't watch anything else. They're like, girl, you You talk about Homeland that came out in 2019. I'm like, I had no idea. So I'm about to pull up to my auntie's house, but I just wanted to really come in and say, number one, Cheez-Its, the recipe has changed. But I will also say, listen, find you a Big Lots, or find you, if that's your thing, like if you notice that a recipe has changed, do yourself a favor, find one of those discount stores that sell that product, because they have the older version. So I ended up going to Big Lots, and I ended up getting the older version. It doesn't expire until January 2027. So I still can munch on my little Cheez-Its, but recipes are changing. Things are changing. If you missed the video that I posted yesterday, go ahead and start your home pharmacy, because at least if you do have to consume these genetically modified, overly pesticide, um, fake foods. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, they have added so many Popeyes restaurants, McDonald's. And when I say within 3 minutes of each other, we're not even talking about you have to drive. Oh my God, it is absolutely insane. If you just think about how much chicken, how much beef, how many French fries would have, potatoes, I should say, if they were real potatoes, would have to be produced to satisfy all of these fast food chains. But let me just see. Thank you for, yeah, genetically modified will become normal in the US faster than any place else. You're absolutely right, Christine. Shell. Yep, farmers will tell you. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I will definitely do that. If the ants and birds, Janice said, don't want it, you won't either. Exactly. Listen, flies, the fact that flies love shit, if they not landing on your apple, on your peach, on your strawberry, on your banana, that means it's worse than shit. You don't want it. Definitely appreciate. Oh, thank you, Dante. The impromptu lives going, giving the heads up. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for the compliment, and you're welcome. Um, exactly, Janet. I think I caught everybody. Um, what's the scoop on Trader Joe's? This is bad, especially for people who don't drive. Yep. The fact that and what made me literally say, let me just go ahead and do this and turn off Shalimar for now, um, was I literally realized, I'm like, IGA is closing. That means there's only Food Lion, two Food Lions, and a Walmart. And now a Walmart neighborhood store. Those are the only places that some of my family members will be getting their food from. Scary. Concerning. Again, I have to be impeccable with my words. I don't want to say scary, but definitely concerning. And so let me go ahead and get back to my cousin. She's only in town until tonight. But I will definitely, like I said, I'm coming back tomorrow to do another live about the distractions and, my unpopular opinion about some of them. And so that will be tomorrow evening. I'm not sure of the time, but tomorrow evening. And until then, go ahead, check out my POV on the Howard University catastrophe that they want us to focus on, when what they really tried to do is slander and make some moves. And also the Start Your Own Pharmacy video. And I'll try to put both of those videos at the end of this one. You might see it pop up now. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I will see everyone tomorrow. Go ahead and tell your peoples to, make sure they test their foods. Please test their foods. Please, please, please test their foods. Anyway, everybody have a good day. Have a good weekend. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.